You are what you eat, part 2, quality versus quantity. Hi, welcome everybody. It's Jason Barlow, RMT, and I'm here today as your therapist and as your coach to help you transform any stress, tension, and pain into health, happiness, and vitality instead. This week and every Thursday, I dive deeper into my new book, The 15-Step Playbook for Pain Relief. If you've not got a copy, go get a copy right now. Just go to jasonbarlowrmt.com. You'll see a little pop-up in the window, and just go ahead and click on that and leave me your email address, and I'll email immediately a digital copy for free. If you want to get this physical copy, just go to Amazon wherever you are and just put in the search, The 15-Step Playbook for Pain Relief. This is a condensation of my nearly 2 decades working in health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, and massage. So I've helped people in a plethora of situations, from dealing with chronic pain to chronic injury or injury risk, athletes to general public, to busy moms and busy dads, to youth, a real spectrum. And so, for me, it's putting everything I've learned, and that's for me applying personally just as much professionally, by the way. And I've condensed it into 15 steps for you. There's no excuses. All you have to do, it's sitting there waiting for you to be the recipient of. And especially, I would go get it. And even if you skip what I've written, skip it and go straight to my recommended reading at the back of the book, because in there are some of the most powerful resources I found in my 20-plus year career. And 2 or 3 of these at least have been personal mentors of mine over that time. Highly recommend those books. And I divided it into the 4 areas of which you can choose to have control over: your mindset, how you move your body by way of movement and stretching; your nutrition, which is what we're centering in on today; and your rest and recovery. Those are the areas I guarantee, if you take complete responsibility for and accountability, you can make a difference in your own health and wellness, because there are incredible practitioners out there. And we can get the massages, we can go see the nutritionist, we can get to the physicians, we can have all these tests run. Amazing. And we're getting more and more precision with all of these types of things that are available to us. But ultimately, there is no more precision than you knowing your body better than anybody else in the world. You have to get comfortable with your body. You have to recognize, realize, and understand what it is your body specifically is communicating to you. Because if you don't, then how can you articulate to somebody who's trying to serve you who has no idea about your body? They get a general sense and interpretation, but you know your body better than anybody else. So when it comes to these 4 areas, the mind, the body, nutrition, rest and recovery, which area, and this is what I do for myself as much as my patients, which of those 4 areas is it that you recognize? Not that you deny, because this is important. What you recognize, this is the most important area that I need to center in on. And that's what I'm going to get into right now with the nutrition. So let's talk about that specifically. So quality versus quantity. So I think everybody understands those 2 different terms. A very quick summary for you is quality is in reference to the quality, the type, the substantialness, that's even a word, the existence of that food. Where's it coming from? What is that bringing to you by way of nutrition? Versus quantity. What's the volume? How much are you actually consuming? Now, there's all sorts of debates out there. Again, your body knows, or you know your body ideally better than anybody else. Listen to what it's trying to tell you. Now, in the link below, or in the description, I always say link, but there's a link in the description below. Copy and paste that into a browser, and you can get access immediately to my free 7-day sleep and nutrition journal. What I recommend you do, read the blurb at the beginning. From there, start to fill it out day by day. And you can print out multiple forms and do a whole month if you want. The most important thing, though, is writing down what you've eaten, and then specifically, what reactions are you getting from your body, from your mind, within 1 to 2 hours of having eaten that food? If you're feeling a little drowsy, you're mentally foggy and just agitated, or you're feeling jittery, anything by way of a negative response that you define as negative, you need to write that down within that 1 to 2 hour box. Now, if you eat food that you feel oh yeah, I've got sustained energy. I feel good. I'm satiated. I have no bloating. I have no symptoms. I'm mentally clear and sharp. I'm ready to attack the day. I had a great sustained performance in my run or performance in CrossFit, whatever it is, fill that out. Because what you're going to do over that period of time of doing this journal is get really sharp and clear on, wow, when I eat this food at this time, this is what I get. But if I eat the same food at this time, I don't get the same reaction. Because here's the interesting thing, and this is where it gets a little complex for some people, is that we get different reactions from our body. Our physiology is going to be as unique on the inside as is or as we are on the outside. And that's really where you've got to be very specific in customizing your nutrition. Now, that might sound, oh, that's too much. I don't have time for that. That's fine. Just really follow these fundamentals of what I'm sharing with you. I was going a little deeper there, but what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that ultimately you've got to consider the quantity, the volume of food that you're eating. The bottom line with that is if you're eating more food than what you're actually burning by way of energy, there's going to be a debt, right? You're going to have more energy in your reservoir and the body's going to go, you know what? Okay, we got that. Great. We're going to store it. And we're going to continue to store that. If you continue to do it for day after day after day after day, that's where we get this accumulation of body fat, we get this accumulation of body mass and so forth. And we run into these complications eventually, if we don't take care of that, of running into overweight and obesity regions. So quantity is all important in terms of determining what your energy in versus your energy out. Now that's going to fluctuate, right? Maybe you're burning more energy in the summertime, you're out doing more activities than you are in the wintertime. So you need to cycle and consider those what am I saying here? Those quantities relative to what you need your body to be able to do. And if you know you've got a performance coming up, then you need to get more quantity to get the reserves ready for that fuel burn that's coming up in a few days' time, right? There's definitely some science that can come into it. The bottom line is, though, calories in, calories out, too many in, not enough out, going to gain weight. Too much in, not enough in, too much out, and you're going to start to reduce weight, which again, depending upon how extreme you go with that, might be too negative an impact upon your body. You've got to listen to your body and understand what your goals are. So that's quantity. Quality, and this is the big one for me, is I've worked with a lot of clients over the years who they are following some very precise nutritional protocols, but yet they're not seemingly to experience the results that they should be getting given the quality and control quantity of the foods they're taking in. And that for me has taken me probably over a decade to really understand what's going on there. And I think I figured it out. And I figured it out partly for me as much as I figured it out for my patients, is that it's their mindset. It's their mindset. What do I mean by that? Because people can be eating the finest foods in the world. They might be getting to bed a great time, having an optimal sleep, and they might be doing regular exercise, but their mind is irritated, frustrated, maybe going through some challenges in a relationship or a workplace. They're emotionally imbalanced. Now, don't take that personally, just recognize it. And because if you're sensitive to that term emotional imbalance, then that kind of illustrates the emotional imbalance. Now, what I'm trying to say by that is just recognize it. Don't label yourself. Just recognize there's an emotional imbalance, just as there could be a nutritional imbalance or a muscular imbalance. Recognize it and make a determination to do something about it. Because if you have been following some great nutritional plans, you've been doing the exercise, and you're frustrated because you're not getting the results, I guarantee you're not exploring the avenue that maybe you need to based on that hierarchy I said at the beginning. Make mindset number one. Oh, you don't want to go there. No, I don't want to go there. It's too much time. I haven't got time. It's too much energy. My mind's so out of control. Well, there's again an illustration of the imbalance, and all the more reason to go after that, because I guarantee you keep doing what you've done, you'll continue to get what you've always got or gotten. So if you're looking for different results, you've got to take different actions. Where do those actions come from? They come from your feelings. Where are your feelings coming from? They're coming from your thoughts. Where is it your thoughts are coming from? Your thoughts are coming from your mind based upon your intentions based upon what you allow by way of content and nutrition in terms of what we're reading. And so ultimately, when it comes to that debate between quality and quantity, for me, hands down, mindset's got to be number one once again. Secondly, quality. And quality is speaking to the original source and the minimal ingredients of a food item. You know, Mother Nature has created this beautiful package of foods where you don't have to read the back of that food to go, okay, what's that word? What does that word even mean? I can't even pronounce that word. No. Those are the types of foods we want to cut down, eliminate, eventually completely take away from our diet. In an ideal world, am I saying that I do that? No. But I tell you this, if I had something I was struggling with on a chronic basis, I would be far more motivated to eliminate all those foods that have those particular things labeled. Here's my approach. I use kind of a 70-30 or sometimes 80-20 ratio for myself in terms of 20% of the time, I give myself those things that would fall under the category of non-Mother Nature foods, refined foods. Why? Because then 70 or 80% of the time, I'm getting more nutritious foods that's building my immune system, building my ability to take on the nutrients from the foods and deal with the detoxification that's going to have to take place when I'm getting those non-Mother Nature foods in. Those refined foods cause disarray in your physiology. The more you can get it back to a balanced state again, then you're ready to accept good quality foods and a small percentage of not so good quality foods and treat yourself and so forth. And again, listen to your body. If you're not getting the results that you want, you got to do something different. Maybe you have to go a little bit stricter for a little bit longer. So ultimately, you got to listen to what your body's trying to tell you. Hey, I'm missing out on a great reference. I'm going to pull it out of my description here, and I'm going to mention it again next week. And it's a beautiful article. I'll start with this next week about the secrets of long life. It was an article that was written in National Geographic 16 years ago, but nevertheless, it still stands true from my experience. So I will share that with you next week. Right now, I'm going to cut this short. Remember, you are what you eat. Consider the quality, the more organic, locally sourced foods that we get, the more whole foods, the more nutrition content arrives to our physiology. But number one is our mindset, the quality of the content that we're ingesting by way of what we read and what we hear and what we choose to say is determining the internal physiology of how it deals with the foods that you're trying to judge the quality and quantity. And then finally, the quantity is relative to how much food you're taking in to how much energy you're actually burning. So I hope that gives you a little synopsis of 2 decades worth of studying nutrition. If you have any questions, put them in the blurb below. Share this video, share the links. Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, give me feedback, and give me some kind of review would be welcomed. And I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I'm signing off, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for my book of the week. Thank you, and good night.